They may not be coming close to want to even live that life.
Yeah.
But they are speaking in tongues. We are religious, but I don't have like any clue whether God is doing something, God is not doing something. Like, why is that I'm not filled with the Holy Ghost? Even if I desire it, even if I want to, even if I'll pray about it sometimes, I was kind of somehow staying outside and just looking at my world. And as I was viewing my world, I realized that so many things were just like unnecessary. Like, I was looking at, maybe I look at politics, and I have no pull. I had no pull towards that direction. I said, how could people go into, like, they can make campaign and everything, and when you give them the opportunity to lead, they are just completely on their own. They don't have love for their fellow men.
Right.
So it was like, and every other person are just feeling comfortable with it. I was completely dissatisfied. I look into maybe, for instance, the educational system. I see the same thing. How people are just so caught up with themselves. Like the major thing that was affecting me was the selfishness. And people were just so caught up with how they could feed themselves. Whatever happens to others, they don't care.
Right.
They absolutely don't care.
Right.
And in education, like in high school, as I was talking about it earlier on, how your teachers don't even care about you. Nobody could even come and approach you and say, why are you this way? Because I remember so many times I was flogged for no reasons. They don't just care about you. Why? It's not supposed to be that way. I thought about it. If I become a teacher, that one of the reasons I wanted to be a teacher is that I realized I like teaching, and I said I should do what I like to do. Why would people be doing what they don't like to do? You don't help the people. You're just there and destroying people's lives. So it was really affecting me. I realized people were not in their place. People don't want to be in their place. I've thought so many times about so many things. If I think about maybe people that are practicing medicine, they don't have love for their patients. Why should you be there? Why will you be there? Just because of the money? So I realized that one of the key was that people were just crazy about money. People are so crazy about money.
Right.
It's driving me crazy. That people could do anything for money and don't care about the life of the people that they are handling. So all these thoughts I was doing them while I was like in my own self.
Yep.
Since I was not with people and everything, I was just on my own thinking about what is happening in the world. How is the world just going this way?
Yeah.
And nobody is even worried about it. I know people are. Now I know people are. But then I thought nobody was worrying about it because you don't get to meet people that will come and share the same feeling that they're having. Now, coming to religion, majorly Christianity, I still realize the same thing. That I come to church, you hear somebody come and he preaches, and people just hear the word, they go, they don't even want to, like, it's just completely confusing. It's confusing. Because what you're hearing is not what is practiced. You hear what Jesus say, like, read the Beatitudes, the things they say. People are not even pulled to want to desire it. And yet, it's not a big deal. So those things were, not that I was living the life though, but like I said, because of the kind of simple life I was living.
You're observing. Yes.
Yeah. People could still think, oh, this person is a good person, but that's not the point. I wasn't living the life because I haven't got anything. But at the same time, I was not seeing that. I wasn't seeing the life that anybody was living before me. The life I was seeing people live was actually not the life I wanted to live. I didn't like anything in it. People will come, they're going to preach heavy sermon, and people, at the end, they go, there's no fruit. That's a major thing. I was not seeing any fruit. So it was a big question to me about Christianity. The Christianity I've been exposed to.
Okay.
It was a big question. I look at how, like in my denomination then, Assemblies of God. How they're going to come down to the local church you are, and they're going to, like, in terms of when they want to get money. They get money and they raise funds. They build a school. And the school they build, the common people cannot school there. Like, but you get the offering and the everything from those people in the church. And you build a school, and nobody can attend the school you've built. It's the school fee is just skyrocketed, that only only the rich could school in such school. Now, when I bring those thoughts and I start thinking, what are these people doing? It was completely, I couldn't put those thoughts in my mind. How can these people be doing this?
Yeah.
And yet, they are handling the world. Even before I left, I know there was a time they wanted to build a university. Now the university is already built. They came down to the local churches, because they have branches of the church everywhere. They went down to the local churches and they raised fund. And now that university is built already. And I know this is exactly the same thing. It's only the rich,
of course,
that can attend to university. So when I was seeing all these things happening before me, it was getting me more and more, like, thinking that what is happening? How is the world going this way? And nobody's even talking about it. That was what I was thinking. Okay. Nobody's talking about it. So it was affecting me. I realized so many times I've decided, okay, I'm going to serve God. But the truth is, because I didn't have the word. I didn't have the word of God, the revealed word of God. Mm-hmm. So there was no way I could sustain myself. Because when I tried to say, okay, I'm going to live for God, I'm going to study my Bible. Sometimes I'm going to try and I will study my Bible. But later on, I can also remember so many times when I pick up some certain habits. I'm just going everywhere. I remember when I started picking up some certain habits, I excuse myself away. Because whatever I start doing, I give all myself to it. Mm-hmm. Because of I was drawn towards entertainment. I started watching, like, the series of soccer. Though I loved sports, like, before then, but then, because I was now working and getting money, I could go pay and watch. That was even before I came to Canada.
Okay.
Now, that was another time I was watching, like, I was just feeding on entertainment. Because anything I give myself to, I give myself to it. So the devil really used that to get hold of me, because they were almost becoming like an obsession. Mm. Yeah, they were becoming like an obsession. I would just, like, I remember, like, some certain times I would stay at home and watch soccer and not even go to church. Like, I'll go to church until I'm done, then I go to church. Even when I was given to studies, right, it was an obsession. Like, I would stay at home and be studying, and I wouldn't even want to go to church. Like, it's just like that. Whatever I want to do, I give myself to it. Right. So that's one thing I know that the devil wanted to use to destroy me from the inside. Because from the outside, you might not be able to use, people cannot influence me. Let me use that. It's a strong word, but when I talk about influencing me to do what I don't want to do. Right. A fellow human being will not be able to do that. Because of, like, how God has trained me, like, with circumstances of life. Yeah, yeah. I came to a point where it's almost like impossible for someone else to influence me into doing evil. But the thing is, even if someone cannot influence me, the devil tried to influence me from the inside by giving me a wrong desire and making me feed myself with the wrong things. So with that, it was destroying me from the inside. Sure. Not from the outside. So I know that was basically how the devil wanted to destroy my life. Now, when I was in Nigeria, before I got a scholarship, like 4 to 5 years ago, I lost my dad. Now, my dad passed on, and my dad is someone that was of a high inspiration to me in my studies and everything. Whenever I'm doing well, I want him to know about it, because his comments really motivate me. Yeah. And that was where I really get my motivation from in terms of of studies. Mm-hmm. So when my dad passed on, like, passed away, it really affected me that it's like there's nobody you want to please anymore. That was when I realized that, oh, I was trying to please my dad. Like, I wanted to do things to just make him happy and make him, like, be confident, because he has faced so many things in life, so many difficulties, and he really tried as a father, but he wasn't, according to the extent to what he wanted, he wasn't able to achieve those things.
Right.
So myself, one of my desire was to just make him happy, like make him, whenever he sees, like he should have this something of hope. And I know all of us, not most of us, we have that desire in our hearts,
sure,
to want to make our parents happy.
Sure.
So, but he was somebody that I really, really have a heart for, to make happy. So when he passed on, it felt like there was no one anymore. So that was when God began to shift my attention. So my attention was now shifting that I can please God. Since my earthly father was no more there, I started having a desire. God started putting a desire in my heart to want to please God. Because if the world can shed anybody away, then that person, it just shows that person doesn't love God. Just tell somebody about, okay, let's go to church. People go to church in North America, which we know, but now I really know. These people, it's this loneliness, right? So that idea was a good idea, because people don't want to be lonely. God was now washing, because He was letting me know that I cannot be fellowship with these people and be sincere, and then I have all these kind of things I do later outside.